Hello, everybody. Spider here, the Fight Card Podcast, coming to you once again from San Antonio, Texas. I'm in the studio. Khortni, Kamyron. Of course, you're in Colorado. So how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Earlier, we talked a little bit about the first time that we spoke. Of course, you were getting ready for another amateur fight, and here now, October 15th, you're going to be making your pro debut for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. It is in your backyard. How far are you from the venue?
Um, Actually, the venue from my apartment is 5 minutes.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
So it's
It's
backyard.
yeah, literally my backyard. It's home for me.
Okay, wow. Well, of course, bare knuckle. What was it that I guess that convinced you, or you decided to go ahead and do bare knuckle?
So, for the last couple of years, actually, my manager's been trying to get me to fight for bare knuckle, and I just wasn't quite ready. Wasn't quite ready to make that jump into pro debut yet. Um, wanted to try some MMA stuff.
Right.
Um, after my last AMI fight, which was in May, we had like just a full on brawl for the whole time. And prior to that, the fight with Crystal had been brought to my attention. Part of it was also I don't like cutting to 125, and
Right.
so they finally offered me the fight at 135. And after that last MMA fight, like the damage that I took to my face with gloves on, like it just, I mean, it was quite a bit. For a couple days, I was pretty banged up, and I was like, I got hit in the head quite a bit. Um, Bare knuckle, it's safer on the brain. As far as the absorption of the punches and blows that you're taking. The average bare knuckle fight lasts 2.5 minutes.
Right.
So, you're not standing there for 15 minutes just getting your head bashed in. Like, it's real. And I honestly thought to myself, I'm like, I don't know if I like it or not unless I try. So, they gave me a great opportunity. They're like, we're offering you at 135, and it's in Colorado. And for a long time, my one of my goals was to make my pro debut here at home.
Oh,
And
nice.
so everything just kind of lined up together, and it made sense to me.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, you see, of course, the fact that everything is happening the way it did. Are you happy with that? The timing and
Mhm.
and date and everything.
Yeah, just it's really hard to explain because there's so many different factors to take in, but everything just lined up and fell into place like dominoes, when you knock some dominoes over. That's exactly what happened, and I was like, okay, this is the right time.
No, for sure. And let me ask you, when it comes to training, because obviously you were training in mixed martial arts,
Mhm.
how have you changed your training for bare knuckle?
So, my foundation has always been striking. I actually started learning to grapple when I started doing MMA. So, I've had a lot of striking experience. The difference is, your stance with boxing and how you deliver your punches and your movement, right? It's more angle based. You can dip down pretty low, and not risk getting kicked in the head. And
Right.
you just take the legs out of the equation, honestly. um so I'm actually at a new camp for this fight. It's one of the best striking gyms in the nation. So there's a lot of high level talent there, and I'm learning and improving so much. um they're striking based as well. So they helped LT Nelson prepare for his BYB debut. And yeah, so they kind of know, the way to get there. And been giving me a lot of really good pointers. And again, the level of talent that's there is phenomenal, and I'm like a sponge. Like, tell me everything, teach me everything. So
No,
yeah.
you see, that's one of the things. I've interviewed other, athletes getting into the BKFC platform or bare knuckle boxing in general, and a lot of them they like it because they're like, man, I've been doing MMA for 10 years, 15 years, and this is different. So I'm kind of like a kid at a candy store, so to speak. Like it's new, and you want to do everything, and And
Yeah.
so, I mean, I like that because it's a whole different platform. So, of course, new rules, shorter rounds, but I mean, of course, the damage, it can still happen. I mean, your opponent right off the bat. I mean, of course, Crystal Pittman. I mean, she's already been in that platform for three fights. And I mean, were you worried about that as far as her experience?
No, not at all. Because honestly, like, what I've learned in this camp from my last fight up until now is you can't prepare for anything because anything can happen when you get in there. It doesn't matter who's got what experience. The last girl that I fought, I had found out that she was like a fourth degree black belt in karate, and I was like, oh my god, you know. But then we got in there, and there wasn't a lot of karate based movements. She was more hands than anything, and so with that, no, I don't think that it really bothered me. We're two fighters wanting to get in there and just do what we do best, and you know, um, I kind of adapt to every situation as it comes at me in the moment. So,
No, sure. And I gotta ask you, I mean, as far as conditioning, I know, like I've said earlier, I've talked to other fighters that have gone into bare knuckle, and
mhm.
a lot of them do different things. I mean, they go from punching sand, like a bucket full of sand, to punching. I mean, just kind of like conditioning their knuckles. I mean, have you been doing something like that already?
A little bit, yes. We've been doing some body conditioning too. Um, there's mitts that you can hit, and honestly, I don't know that anything ever could prepare you for
No,
what it may or may not feel like. So, just kind of going with what the coaches tell me to do on a daily basis, and hoping that that's what I need to do.
no, no, for sure. And of course, like we mentioned earlier, I mean, you've been competing in combat sports. This is bare knuckle. I mean, you have hand wraps, but your family, your friends, I mean, what are they saying? What are they thinking?
So there's been a lot of really mixed emotions about it. I'm all for it. I'm like, yeah, it's you're gonna get banged up with or without gloves, and some people they're like, I don't know, like I really don't like it. I'll support you, but I'm not crazy about the idea. Um, my kids, one of them's like, okay, whatever, and the other one's like, oh, I don't know, I'm not crazy about it. And my dad, he's like, I'm happy. You just get to do whatever you want to do. If you're happy, I'm happy. Um, yeah.
Oh, and of course, I
A
mean, these
lot of people are like, they're like, "Oh my god, you're crazy." And I'm like, it's no different than, again, as much damage as I took to the face on my last one with gloves, it's no different than taking an elbow or a knee to the face.
no, no, for sure, because like you said, I mean, anything can happen, and again, it is sanctioned, of course. So I mean, the ref's gonna be there, your corner. I mean, at any time in the fight, if somebody is in danger, they can stop the fight, right?
Yep, yep, exactly. And I've seen like they'll let you fight it out and they'll also stop it if you're done. So, if I get in there and get clipped one time and I'm like, "Oh, heck no, I'm not doing this," then, so be it. But, I don't I want to look back on my life when I'm older and just be like, "You know what? I tried it." And have stories to tell because of it. When my kids are older and they have children, I'll be like, your grandma used to beat the crap out of people."
I was gonna say you can be in that nursing home in the day and be like, yeah, I used to fight bare knuckle, and everybody's like, oh,
Yes.
okay.
That's funny. When I started fighting, I always joke with my kids. I'm like, when you put me in the nursing home, I'm gonna make sure that those nurse aides aren't gonna mess with me. They're gonna be like, I'm not changing that lady. She used to beat people for a living.
Oh, no, for sure. And let me ask you, I mean, because this is going to be a pro debut. So,
Mhm.
I mean, of course, you're not going back to amateur. I mean, if you decide to pursue MMA, it is going to be at the pro level.
Yep, everything is pro from here on out. So
Okay, and of course, and it's a good thing. I mean, of course, now it,
yeah.
it does count when it comes to the record, but I mean, of course, you'll be getting compensated, you'll be getting paid. But one of the things I did want to bring up as well is the fact that you have a website, you have product that you sell, and can you tell us the link?
So the website is headhunterfight.com. And I am really good about keeping it updated. There's new merch that drops on there, every month or two. I keep everything updated as far as the links to go to pay per view or ticket purchases for each fight. Um, yeah. Yeah, you can subscribe to stuff, so it'll email you if there's updates. All
And
sorts of cool
and
stuff.
and of course, you guys get a link where you guys get credit for the pay-per-view, right? So I'm gonna have that on the
Okay.
video on the YouTube, so that way, yeah, those watching can just click on that and give you credit for it. Because of course, I mean, do you guys get
Yeah.
compensated per click?
Yeah,
Okay.
we get compensated for tickets and pay-per-view purchases. There's also on my social media, there's a link tree in my bios, and so there's a bare knuckle reference there, and that is for the pay-per-view stream. The ticket link is on my website itself.
Okay.
So
No, yeah, because I think I was reading the code. I mean, of course, it is Kamyron, so they can just type that in and give you that credit, right?
yep.
Now, let me ask you, as far as conditioning, I mean, cardio, I mean, of course, you are in Colorado. For us here in Texas, high altitude does exist. So, of course, your cardio is good. I think your opponent is from Montana. So,
Yeah, she's living out in Florida though.
oh, okay, okay. And I was going to say, because I mean, I wonder if she's training with that same altitude. I mean, you think that's going to be a factor?
I've talked to a couple different people about it. I know, so I'm basically a Colorado native. I lived here my entire life. I'll go to Texas and compete. I'll go to Florida. I'll go anywhere outside of Colorado for 3 days, and I come back and it's brutal. Like it is really hard to readjust. Um, that being said, I have gone out of state and come back and had to fight 2 weeks later, and it didn't. It wasn't a
Oh,
huge issue. I guess it really just depends on each person, and how their body acclimates. There's again, you can't guarantee anything. So, you know, I will say that it is altitude does suck, and it is a noticeable difference. But whether it's a factor or not, I don't know.
so we'll find out come fight night, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And of course, I mean, this is going to be October 15th for BKFC 31 in Denver, Colorado, of course, like we mentioned earlier. I mean, as far as for your sponsors, do you have sponsors helping you for this bout?
So I do. I still have sponsorship spots open until the end of this week. I think I might have a couple that are about to jump on board. But right now I have HKA. They've been with me since day one.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
fight number 4, actually. We did the math the other day. So they've been around for a very long time. I think it was the end of 2019 when we started working together. So, and then I have a friend of mine, his name's Justin. He just jumped on board with Switch and Addiction. He's a personal trainer, um, recovering addict, switching his addiction into a good, healthy lifestyle. So, he helps people live good, sober lifestyles. Yeah, so that's all I have for right now. But again, I think I have a couple that may jump on board within the next couple of days.
No, and of course, like you mentioned, I mean, if they want to jump on before the weekend
Mhm.
or before this week.
So I think I'm gonna try to close it Friday or Saturday. That gives me 2 weeks to get everything printed up and put together and, get it back here in time for fight night.
No, of course. And on this fight, is it a one fight contract?
Yes.
Oh, okay, okay. And then, like you
Yeah.
mentioned earlier as well, I mean, you're gonna see whether or not you want to pursue this.
Mhm.
I know earlier I was talking to another bare knuckle fighter, and he's actually fighting this weekend. But he's from here in Texas, so I mean, BKFC has talked about coming to Texas. So maybe if you do decide to keep competing in bare knuckle, maybe we'll see you here in Texas next year.
Yeah, for sure. I love going to different states and fighting. Like it's really cool. It's a neat little job perk.
And of course, I mean, when you do something like that, is it kind of like, okay, I already fought, I'm gonna go sightseeing tomorrow and see what's out there?
Um, so usually the way it's worked out so far is like I'll fly in on weigh-in day or the day before. I focus on, cutting weight, making weight, doing all the weigh-ins. We'll kind of go sightsee a little bit after weigh-ins and go to dinner. And then on fight day, we'll kind of like browse around, go have a nice breakfast, find a cool spot to do a shakeout, and then it's time to head to the venue. And then usually we end up leaving pretty early the next morning. So it's just a short little burst, but it's kind of cool to just, go to a couple of local spots. When I went to Florida last September, we'd gone to a place for breakfast in Pensacola, and in the uh chat or on my page or something, somebody was like, "Hey, we see the headhunter at breakfast." And I'm like, "Oh my God." Like, I'm all the way across the US in Florida and people are like noticing me. It's kind of cool.
No, no, that's for sure. I mean, of course, you wanna make it to the big leagues, and of course, win a title, along the way. And as far as fighting and training, I mean, do you have a set date? I mean, as far as like how long you want to keep competing?
No, so I get asked that a lot because I'm not as young as most of the competitors. I'll be 37 next week on Thursday. And even my sister asked me this the other day. She's like, "How long are you going to keep doing this?" I'm like, as long as, my body responds appropriately and I feel good. If I start feeling like my body can't handle it anymore, then I'll stop. But I would like to at least go until I'm 40.
Right, right. You see, and let me ask you this, because a lot of times fighters don't know when to stop, and it happens, especially in the UFC and other bigger promotions, and we keep seeing them lose, and of course, I can say, oh man, he should retire, but I mean, of course, it's up to you guys, whether or not you want to keep competing. But when the day comes, do you think you would be able to say, okay, you know what, this is enough, and walk away from it?
Yeah. Yeah. It's because you have to think about your life and longevity. If you're
Right.
taking a lot of blows and you're taking a long time to recover, then your quality of life sucks. If you're in pain all the time and trying to heal, then you can't do anything. Outside of training and fighting, I'm very active. Like, I love going hiking. I love just doing stuff. If I can't do that if I'm not physically able to.
No, no, definitely. Let me ask you. For us, I mean, of course, we're everywhere. The first day of fall was the other day, and it's hot as hell here in Texas. But how's the weather out there in Colorado right now?
It's beautiful today. I'm outside in a tank top. We just got done. We went on a nice little walk this morning for, a couple miles, and I think it's like 78 or 80 degrees.
Oh, nice. Yes.
It's so nice. I have family coming in for the fight, and they're like, "Is it gonna be cold?" I'm like, "Yeah, I don't know." It was 95, and then the next day it was 55. So it's Colorado. You never know.
No, no, for sure. And let me ask you two questions. As far as I mean, here in San Antonio, we're sponsored by Santico's Theater. And my question to you, as far as movies, I mean, what's the last movie that you actually went to go see at the theater?
Oh shoot, I don't know. Oh shoot. That's
Been
a
a
really
while.
good question. I can't remember. I know we like to go grab movies, but it's also so easy to, order them on,
Stay home,
yeah,
and then
yeah. Um, so I want to say it's been a couple of months. I know the last movie we were super eager to watch was the new Predator movie.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Sure. And last question. I mean, as far as one of our sponsors, of course, here, Halloween. I mean, here we're sponsored by Spirit Halloween, and it's nationwide. Of course, you can get on their website. But Halloween, do you guys, celebrate it? Do you dress up and go out there with the kids,
Yeah.
or and what
Yeah.
what
So,
what costume are you looking for this year?
I don't know. We haven't fully made Halloween plans yet. I know 2 years ago, I went and dressed up like steampunk, and then the year before that, uh, I was a chola. It was great. It was
You
great.
didn't get in trouble, did you?
No, no, we just went to a house party at my friend's house. Me and my roommate at the time dressed up, and a lot of people didn't recognize us. It was a lot of fun.
No, no, for sure. Well, of course. I mean, I want to thank you once again. I mean, for jumping on this platform. I wanted to make
Of
this
course.
short and sweet, but I appreciate you. And of course, October 15th, man. Wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Don't hang up yet. Everybody out there, of course. This is Spider DeFi Car Podcast. Until next time, follow up.